There are a few games that have really good tutorials for newcomers, and Dark Souls is one of them. Dark Souls introduces the player to its mechanics and gameplay philosophy through the expertly crafted Undead Asylum and its boss, the Undead Demon. And the game does nearly everything to make sure the player determines within the first 10 minutes of gameplay if this is to their liking or not. The Undead Asylum starts off with the player rotting in a cell when a body is dropped from the sky, revealing a glowing orb that can be picked up, providing the player a key to escape their prison. Showing that these glowing orbs are safe and should be picked up is important, because in a game coined as Dark Souls Prepare to Die, some things should be shown as not deadly to the player. Soon, the player learns some tools such as basic and strong attacks, and locking onto enemies in an area to test them out onto some non-aggressive NPC hollows who are just asking for your abuse. And finally, introducing the bonfire, a safe haven, to rest near the boss's door. As simple as all of this is so far, it is important to allow the player to playtest the mechanics and feel of the game in a safe and controlled environment, in order to not feel cheated due to lack of basic knowledge. The Asylum Demon is best explained as a bait, and even a little trolly at this point of the game. After progressing through a kind of relaxed and safe environment, learning the controls, you are ambushed by this rotting lump of flesh that looks like a pear melting in the sun. The boss is huge, blubbery, yet spiky and jagged, holding the largest beat stick of a weapon that makes Teddy Roosevelt jealous. It has a good appearance, as it puts the player on edge and keeps them from aggressing in terror of it. And actually fighting the damn thing is useless and impossible. Your damage is pitiful, he collapses your HP in a few swings, covers a massive range, and with the area being cluttered with pillars and vases, it makes movement inconvenient. In contrast with the previous section of the game, the combination of all these factors creates fear in a claustrophobic atmosphere. It is only when dying to the boss multiple times the player will notice a lit section of the room with a door that is open. This discovery leads to a realization that this challenge isn't really meant to be tackled now, and proceeds to enter the door, closing behind, thus shielding them from the monster that we were fleeing from. This leads to the remainder of the Undead Asylum. Continue the tutorial for more techniques such as dodge rolling, jumping attacks, and critical hits. All the while collecting much better equipment. The game is teaching the player, subconsciously, that this world will have obstacles and goals that may, at the moment, be out of their control. But exploration will bring new goodies, information, and skills to prepare for what is to come and beat the undefeated. Finally, once the player reaches the end, the boss will be staring at you from the bottom, giving you the opportunity to do a plunging attack on them for massive damage, then proceeding to beat up the boss with much greater ease. With a combination of the new equipment, better tactics, and experience from multiple retries and deaths, the player will triumph over the seemingly impossible, and wordlessly advising that further exploration and determination to not quit is vital for this game. In the lore, the Undead Asylum is meant to store the undead branded by the dark sign in order to reside there until the end of time, to not mess with anyone else. The player probably was not the only one imprisoned there, but also an entire population of these undead. And the area's aesthetics illustrate this concept well. Obviously, the player was behind bars, and there are multiple cells right outside of your cell, so that one is clear. But there is more to it. It is long, narrow, and linear, which preys on one's caution in case of being surprised by an ambush with no way of escape. It is dark, moist, and grimy, making it clear that not only are the undead left there to rot for the end of time, but even the facility has been disregarded, or even purposely unmaintained. In terms of design, the Undead Asylum is simple to navigate and clear with its intentions. The linear corridors with no branching paths are great, slowly introduces the controls, and pace the objectives apart so that not everything bombards the player all at once. Example: learn, battle, learn some more, battle some more. And the Asylum Demon is weirdly designed as a king with his head full of bones shaped as a crown. It seems to make sure that in its domain, nobody leaves it. The demon can even be seen before the first encounter on top of the area, surveilling it like a hawk. It is safe to say that he is the warden of this prison, but although his appearance is terrifying, it isn't complicated in terms of combat. Its attacks consist of some mid-range swings, a close-range butt stomp, and a long-range slam with its hammer. But all of them have long, exaggerated wind-ups and cooldowns for easy live studying. After many retries against this boss, a pattern can be recognized to dodge the incoming attacks. A strategy can be formulated to stay safe behind it or attacking it when under a cooldown. And experience is embedded into the player's mind as to when to play offensively and defensively. This is how Dark Souls introduces its game to its players, and it does so masterfully. The only thing that would have made this better for more people is to make the lit door to escape the Asylum demon more noticeable than how it is now. Maybe it could have been bigger, who knows.